Animation is the illusion of life. Claymation is a type of animation made using clay and other everyday objects. Compared to hand-drawn animation and computer animation, claymation is appealing in a different way. Claymation is visually interesting because as a viewer, we can tell that it is made out of real-life, tangible objects. The realism makes the animation fascinating. It can also be very creepy. Watch any movie directed by Tim Burton to see what I mean. Many people are turned away from making a claymation movie because it can take some time to make. Yes, it does take time, but once you know how to, it becomes easy and enjoyable. Anybody can make a claymation. Here's how. What do you need to make your first claymation movie? First, get a phone. I use my iPhone 7. Then, download the stop motion app. I use Stop Motion Studio because it's free and it has the functions that I need. Next, you'll need a phone tripod. I use this UB-sized tripod. I would recommend you get something that can keep your phone steady, but a few cheaper options are paper cups, a binder clip, or building a stand out of Legos. If you go the cheap route, make sure to tape it to the table to keep it very steady. Get some clay. For a basic claymation, any non-dry clay works. I use plastilina clay. It is cheap, it stays firm, and it is still pliable when needed. Finally, you need something called an armature. An armature is the skeleton of your clay. It gives it structure and helps your character stay up. Wire, paper clips, or even toothpicks can work. If you want to go above and beyond, here are a couple more things to have. Good lighting. Avoid having natural light on your project. The way the sunlight changes over time can ruin the effect. Instead, use a light source that does not change and still keeps your clay visible. And don't forget to have plenty of patience. Now that we have what we need, we can do the fun part, animating. The process of claymation is a pattern of taking a picture, changing the shape of the object, taking a picture, changing the shape, taking a picture, and so on. In order to create the illusion of life, it's important to follow these two simple principles of animation: timing and staging. Timing. As you can see in the comparison of these two shots, you can change how fast the object appears to move by changing how much space is between one frame and the next. You can use the onion skin feature on the left side of the screen to control how much you can see the last frame, allowing you to compare it with the change you've just made. You can also use timing to create a motion and send a message. Here is the clay block I showed at the beginning. Because of this slight delay, you know that the object or character is thinking and making decisions. Staging. When setting up your clay scene in front of the camera, ask yourself if the audience will understand what is happening. Make the character easy to see, and keep the movement simple to help you achieve effective staging. Finally, be careful not to let things like your shadow, excess clay, or other materials accidentally get into the shot. This creates a distracting flickering effect in your movie. Once you finish taking your pictures, remove unneeded pictures, change the frame rate to what looks best, add sound effects, and render your movie. You are now ready to make your first claymation movie. After all your hard work, you can show your friends and family your masterpiece.
Automatic diving board activated.
you.